Don't forget to like, subscribe and share the videos.
The question is, economic growth in the recent past has been led by increase in labor activity. This is the first part. So what the statement is saying is, economic growth in the recent past led by the labor activity. So there is the statement itself saying that there is certain economic growth. It is happened due to the labor activities only. Next, explain the statement. Okay, so they are asking to explain the first statement. Next, suggest the growth pattern that will lead to creation of more jobs without compromising the labor productivity. So second part is about the suggestion part. What they are asking is, you have to suggest the creation of more jobs without compromising the labor productivity. So first thing is explain the statement, and the second is the suggestion part. For this question, what will be the intro? So it is speaking about economic growth. You can speak about the economic growth in terms of GDP. So after COVID-19, the growth rate of the India's GDP, that is also you can speak. That itself will be the introduction. When it comes to these kinds of questions, you can go with certain data as the introduction. Okay, so what are the growth rate? What are the economic growth? Which means you have to speak with certain growth rate data, or else you can say about what is labor productivity. Okay, which means efficiency. Efficiency means as simple as that 10 labor is going to produce 100 goods per day. Means same 10 labor going to produce 500 goods per day, means that is increases in the productivity. So this is the way you can answer it. So what is labor productivity? That is also be the introduction. Okay, so the question is saying that economic growth in the recent past has been led by increases in the labor activity, which means the labor activity increased this economic growth. So the labor productivity is increasing, by the way only the economic growth is happening. So that is the statement is trying to say. So that should be your intro part. Next, it is about economic growth or labor productivity. Okay, next, explain the statement means you can say that economic growth in the recent past led by the increase in the labor activity in following ways. You have to explain it. First is about the, you can go with from the near to the past, or else from the past to the near. There are either way you can follow that, which means at the time of COVID-19, there is a huge growth in the work from home culture. Okay, so work from home led to the increases in the labor productivity, because the benefits of the work from home is they are connected to the family, so they have the leisure time, and also they did the work. So by the way, it increases the labor productivity. So this is the way. So you can start from the COVID-19 and you can go back, or else you can start with after this LPG reform. Okay, so after the LPG reform, there is a liberalization. Okay, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. Due to the liberalization, there is certain changes in the company's activity. The control over the companies changed. That led to the increases in the productivity. Okay, so or else you can say that with the globalization, due to the globalization, there is a transfer of technology happened. There is a in-migration and out-migration happened. Due to that, there is a skill connectivity is enhanced. That led to the labor productivity increase. That led to the changes in the growth rate. That lead to the growth in the economy. That is also the answer. You can elaborate this LPG. How this L increases the labor productivity and that led to the economic growth. This privatization, how that increases the labor productivity and that led to the economic growth. That G. Okay. So this is also with a way of answering. So you can go in either way. And also you can say that the growth of the service sector, which means the service sector means it is the connect between the consumer and the producer. So the consumer and the producer is the connectivity increase the productivity, which means earlier there is a issue, okay, to connect with the producer, that is going to be reduced due to the service sector growth. So by the way, the productivity is also increased. You can connect it. And then when it comes to the agriculture sector, due to the globalization, the mechanization of the agriculture happened. That led to the productivity increase. For example, I can explain it. Earlier, there are consider that 10 labor need in a 1 hectare of land to produce around 1000 kg of wheat. Due to the mechanization, due to the effect of the globalization, the mechanization of the agriculture increased. One labor in 1 hectare of land increases the outcome by 1200 kgs of wheat. Okay, so this mechanization increases the labor productivity, at the same time it increases the economic growth. So this is the connect, you have to make it. So this economic growth happened due to the increases in the labor productivity. You have to connect it. How it has happened, you have to say that. Next, digital driven growth. Okay, so there is a huge growth of digital transactions, and also there is a huge growth of IT sector, and also the huge growth in the usage of the mobile phones and the internet data. So that led to the increase in the productivity, because today you can learn lot of skills through this internet platform itself. So by the way, the productivity is going to increase. So by the way, it is going to increase the economic growth. So you can connect in that way also. This is how you have to explain the statement. Okay, next. Suggest the growth pattern that will lead to the creation of more jobs without compromising the labor productivity. So you have to suggest certain growth pattern, which means you can create the cluster house for a manufacturing or else for a service sector. By the way, it will going to increases the economic growth at also, and also it is going to increases the labor productivity. Or else you have to educate the population with the skill. If there is a skill means the productivity is going to increase. Consider that earlier they are manufacturing a goods with the 10 labor means due to the increased skills or else using the technology. Okay, if they are know to how to use the certain technology means, that is obviously going to increases the productivity. So that will lead to the increases in the production of the goods. So that is the thing. So this is also a one way of suggestion, educating with skills. So this is the way you have to answer it. So it is also about, it is at the end of the day, it is all about the suggestion part. So these are the certain points. So invest in the skill and training, promote the entrepreneurship through the loan activities, okay, or else through the angel investors. So there are many ways to increase the entrepreneurship activities. Okay, next, promote the care economy. Okay, in one of the question we discuss about what is care economy. So we have to promote that also. By the way, it is going to increase the labor productivity, that is in turn contribute to the economic growth of the country. Next, at the same time, it is not going to affect the labor productivity. The productivity of the labor is going to increase only. Next, address the concern with the gig economy. This is the more important thing. Around 50% of the population is in this informal sector, but they are facing certain issues. Okay, that social security, which means they don't have a pension scheme or else an insurance scheme. Okay, so that are the major concerns. So you have to address that. By the way, you can increases the economic growth without affecting the labor productivity, which means recently Kannada government and the Rajasthan passed the bill related to the gig economy to maintain the give the social benefits to this gig economy people. So that is the suggestion. You can say that the states are trying to address. It is better to give the certain central level policy or certain things related to this gig economy people. So that is the way of suggesting thing. By the way, it is going to addresses the issues faced by the gig economy people. So that will increases the labor productivity. At the same time, that is going to increases the economic growth. So you can quote this as an example. Next, special focus on the labor intensive sector. Yes, labor intensive sector is majorly about the textile sector. Okay, and then the apparel. So these are the labor intensive sector. In that sector, we have to give more focus. By the way, you can increases the economic growth. At the same time, we will address the issues, everything faced by the labor productivity. Okay, next, promote the mechanization of agriculture. Okay, so and shift the SCEZ into the employment economy increasing region. Okay, so EEZ, and then effective enforcement of the labor laws. Yes, when it comes to the labor laws are more important. The reason is recently we passed the codes related to this labor laws, but still there are many issues with its codes. So that is also we need to address. Without addressing all this thing, we can't able to increases the labor productivity, and at the same time we can't address the economic growth. So for that we have to re-examine this labor codes. So this is the way you have to answer it. These are the certain answers. This is not the only answer. You can go with your own answer. It's up to you, but you have to justify the statements. That is the more important thing. And then how you are going to conclude this. So economic growth, it is speaking about the economic growth and the labor productivity, suggests the growth pattern that will lead to the creation of the more jobs. Okay, so without compromising the labor productivity. So you can speak about the certain unemployment issues, or else what are the measures we are taking in recent past. Okay, like we are Skill India program. Okay, so Startup India program, that is going to create a certain job opportunities. Okay, you can speak about that thing also. You can go with any schemes or policies, or else you can give a major suggestion related to the we need a certain policy specifically towards the employment opportunities, or else we need a certain things about measuring the skills of the people. That is more important when it comes to the labor productivity. So these are the ways you can conclude it, but the conclusion should be in a more of concluding only. Okay, it is not in a way of starting the new thing. Okay, you can give a suggestions. That is the more important thing. Okay, or else you can end it with the way forward. I like things. Okay, that is the way. But more important thing here is it is all about a 50-mark question. So you have to give a more elaborate way of answering. It should be considered of 6 to 7 points for everything. Here you can use certain things like a circle like thing, and you can point it like this, or else you can go with the star like symbol. Here one point, here one point, here one point. So these are the things you can incorporate in your answer. Okay, that will enrich your answer and it will give you extra marks. That is more important. Okay, thank you.